The Honourable Speaker, sir, the Honourable Members, I rise to update Parliament on the plan and efforts undertaken by the Ministry of Policing against drug abuse and illicit drugs trafficking, and to reassure our citizens, all Fijians, and our visitors too, that the security situation in Fiji remains safe, stable, and manageable. Fiji is facing an evolving and complex narcotics challenge, underpinned by its geographic location, increasing regional connectivity, and the growing influence of transnational criminal networks. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the outset, the challenge we face is formidable. Illicit drugs is now an existential threat not only to Fiji, but also in other Pacific islands and the world. The threat posed by illicit drugs is one of the most serious challenges, as it undermines the security of our people, the well-being of our families, and the stability of our communities. Every day, we see the damage. Young lives loitering through the city, bearing the symptoms of substance abuse. Every now and then, the media highlights corruption of government officials, including law enforcement officers, engaged in illicit drugs trafficking. Most troubling indeed is the fact that illicit drugs has found its way into schools, putting our children at risk, and the cultivation, trade, and benefits is condoned by some senior members of some villages, weakening its communities. In response, Mr. Speaker, sir, the government of Fiji, this coalition government, under the Ministry of Policing, has established a counter-narcotic bureau and adopted the nation's first ever Fiji counter-narcotic strategy in 2023 or 2028. The strategy recognizes the enforcement alone is not sufficient. A multi-sectoral approach is required, one that strengthens community awareness, youth engagement, and public resilience to drug-related harms. This government, the coalition government, is determined to act decisively. And under my ministry, we are building the structures and the strategies necessary to defeat this problem. Our Fiji police force has been relentless in its fight against drugs. Recent police raids and arrests across the country have demonstrated both effectiveness and vigilance. Honourable Speaker, sir, I wish to report to this august House that since March 2025 this year, the Fiji Police Force has seized a total of 19.337 tons of marijuana. Between March and September alone, police confiscated more than 19 tons of marijuana, with an estimated street value of Fiji 194.2 million, or USD 85.9 million. These figures are a sobering reminder of the scale of the illicit trade we are confronting. Our fight is not only confined to marijuana cultivation and trafficking. Between March and September 2025, police also seized 4.1 kilograms of methamphetamine valued at approximately USD $1.3 million on the streets. This shows us clearly that, alongside traditional cultivation, synthetic drugs have been making inroads into our communities. Honourable Speaker, sir, between January 2024 and August of this year, police recorded 3,096 cases of unlawful possession and 225 cases of unlawful cultivation of illicit drugs. In that same period, 3,441 offenders were arrested, most of them young people aged 18 to 35 years. By contrast, only 71 offenders were over the age of 56. These figures, Mr. Speaker, sir, reveal a troubling truth. Fiji's drug problem is overwhelmingly a youth problem. A substantial portion of our young people who should be shaping the future of our nation are instead being drawn into the cycle of drugs, whether through possession, use, or cultivation. This calls for urgent action, not only through strong enforcement, but also through prevention, education, and opening of pathways that give our youth real alternatives to crime. Effective raids alone will not be enough to dismantle the entrenched networks of cultivation, illicit drug trafficking, and the surmounting social ills of drug addiction, outbreak of HIV, and other drug abuse-based issues. The counter-narcotics strategy and the establishment of the Counter-Narcotics Bureau, or CNB, endorsed by Cabinet in 2024, was specifically designed to confront the growing threats of drug abuse, illicit trafficking, and their far-reaching social consequences. The Counter-Narcotics Bureau is mandated to lead this fight in close partnership with relevant ministries, ensuring truly integrated whole-of-government responses. Its work is guided by 4 strategic pillars, Mr. Speaker, sir. 1, reducing and eliminating supply, ensuring a sustained reduction, and ultimately the elimination of drugs entering and circulating in Fiji. 2, reducing harm, meaningfully lowering the impact of drugs on individuals, families, and communities, with particular focus on protecting our young people. 3, recovery and rehabilitation, building comprehensive treatment and rehabilitation services that offer pathways of recovery, reintegration, and renewed hope for those affected. Last and not least, strengthening the law, reviewing and reinforcing our legal and regulatory frameworks so they match the scale, sophistication, and severity of the threat we face. This is why, Mr. Speaker, sir, the counter-narcotics strategy and the Counter-Narcotics Bureau are just not desirable, they are essential for our nation. Honourable Speaker, sir, recent reports and speculation have created confusion regarding the Counter-Narcotics Bureau, particularly following the arrest of 4 police officers who were seconded to it. Let me state categorically, the Counter-Narcotics Bureau is not being abolished or disbanded. Its purpose is too critical and its role too vital for the security of our nation. The arrests, while serious, should not overshadow the importance of the Counter-Narcotics Bureau. In fact, they highlight the urgency of establishing this bureau properly, professionally staffed, managed with integrity, and operating on a strong legal and institutional foundation. As of 23rd September 2025, Mr. Speaker, sir, the police officers who had been seconded to the Ministry of Home Affairs then and Immigration under the name of Counter-Narcotics Bureau have been returned to their original units, that's basically to the police. This decision allows the Bureau to be rebuilt correctly with proper governance, proper staffing, proper oversight of the use of the 1.9 billion budget, as well as its human and physical resources, which was endorsed in this year's budget. Honourable Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Policing has already set the following steps in motion. On legislation, the Counter-Narcotics Bureau draft bill is with the Solicitor General's Office, and SG has given assurance they are working on the bill and hopefully be ready before the end of this year. As for recruitment, an open merit-based recruitment process will soon be launched, guided by the approved Counter-Narcotics Bureau organizational structure. Only ethics-solid officers and staff with the appropriate knowledge, skills, proven integrity, and professionalism will be appointed. In terms of operations, administrative, logistic, and operation mechanisms are being developed so that the Bureau can carry out its mandate effectively and independently. In regards to expertise, the Ministry of Policing has officers with the expertise, qualifications, and experience to set up the Counter-Narcotics Bureau, train its officers, and ensure its effective and its efficient operations. Assistance of international partners will also be engaged. With these measures, I assure this Honourable House that the Counter-Narcotics Bureau will be fully operational before the end of this fiscal year. Honourable Speaker, sir, this fight cannot be won by the police or by the Counter-Narcotics Bureau alone. It requires a whole of Fiji holistic security approach, an approach that combines both human security and national security in one unified front. Human security in practice means improving livelihoods, strengthening communities, and offering alternative sources of income to those who are involved or may be tempted by the drug trade. National security practically means strong policing, effective intelligence, resilient borders, and strong law enforcement. Moving forward, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Policing will work hand in hand with other ministries to align and complement development initiatives that strengthen human security while integrating them with national security enforcement efforts. On the one hand, we will continue to carry out targeted raids, arrests, and prosecutions. On the other hand, other ministries must address the social and economic drivers that allow drug cultivation and trafficking to flourish: poverty, lack of opportunity, and limited access to services. This synergy is essential to generate maximum impact and ensure that peace and stability are not only achieved, but also sustained. Such an approach will help maintain a true sphere of peace whenever it is applied. Honourable Speaker, sir, as part of these plans, we intend to commence the application of this new model in a 20-year transformational plan for Kandavu as a model, changing the false perception of many from Kandavu that Kandavu is a land of drugs to Kandavu, a land of security, economic stability, and prosperity. This holistic approach is one of the best impactful ways to create lasting security. When human security and national security work hand in hand, they reinforce each other. Together, they build the sphere of peace that we all desire, a sphere where our communities are protected, our youths are given hope, and our nation stands resilient against crime and disorder. Honourable Speaker, sir, our international partners have been playing a key role in enhancing and supporting the Ministry of Policing and the Fiji Police Force. These include the governments of Australia, Japan, the United Kingdom, Indonesia, China, New Zealand, and other international organizations such as UNDP, UNODC, OHCHR, and other NGOs. We wish to convey our deepest appreciation and gratitude to their assistance and look forward to our continuing partnership into the future, particularly in the setting up of the Counter-Narcotics Bureau, in technical support and operational capacity building. Honourable Speaker, sir, let us not be distracted by the actions of a few individuals. The bigger picture is clear. Fiji urgently needs a strong, professional, and credible Counter-Narcotics Bureau. That is what the coalition government is committed to do, and the Ministry of Policing shall deliver before the end of this fiscal year. I wish to take this time to thank all, as well as calling on all the Fiji Police Force, police officers, spouses, and family members, chiefs and Vanua in all provinces, crime prevention communities and members, faith-based organizations and their leaders, youths and students, women and girls, and all willing citizens to take the security of our nation against drug abuse and illegal trafficking as a personal responsibility. Information is important to the police to enable them to keep our surroundings safe and secure. Each able member of our communities needs to be an active security participant in this regard. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to thank again all I have called upon, the Ministry of Policing team and international partners for their various respective efforts, great and small, each contributed to the maintenance of peace and the upholding of the rule of law in our beloved nation. Honorable Speaker, sir, Binasa Valevu, may God bless Fiji.